How many days has Formula One gone without something extraordinary happening? 0.000. We have seemingly entered a world where anything is possible in this sport which we love.
Okay, Kev, any thoughts on tyres?
Stay on wets.
Copy that.
Too much standing water still.
Copy that. Okay, Kev, we have a couple of cars changing to Inters now, Williams and Red Bull. Also Stroll and possibly Piastri.
How's the conditions, Nico? Some people are still on full wet, a couple are switching to Inter now.
Yeah, I think it might be good for Inter, but I'll just stay full wet for now.
Copy that, we'll just drive through and do a start then.
It's the question about whether we'll be on the full wet tyre or whether we're going to the Greenwald Intermediate.
Okay, it's just starting to rain again, as expected. So, all other cars apart from yourself and Nico are on intermediates. The rain is going to stay light until just after the race start, and then we expect it to get much heavier.
All of the cars except the Haas are on the Inters. The two Haases are on those X-Wets. Will that work out for them? We'll have to find out.
So standing start, yeah?
Yes, Nico, standing start.
Haas just trying something different, knowing that the majority of the field would be on that intermediate tyre. It is so well poised.
Okay, Kev, remember mode RS for the start. Last car is on the grid.
This has the potential to be very special. The 9th round of the season begins in 5 lights time. And the Canadian Grand Prix is underway. Magnussen on the full wet tyre just went around the outside of Alexander Albon. He's up to 11th place. That full wet working at the moment because it is really, really wet out there and the drivers are struggling to apply the power.
Mode push, please, mode push. BC5 when possible, please. BC5.
Magnussen, it's working for him at this stage. He's up 5 places from where he started the Grand Prix on that full wet tyre.
So it looks genius right now, the full wet, but he's got to take it a long way. And again, he's side by side with Stroll for the top 8 now.
Magnussen carving through the field.
Nice work, Kev. I believe you're currently P8. Much heavier rain falling now, obviously.
Magnussen is going all the way to the front of the field as it stands. He's passing people for fun and he's up 7 places from where he started.
Hulkenberg joining the fun as well for Haas, up into 12th. That's a move from him, still sliding on the full wet there past Alex Albon.
That's Hamilton P6 ahead of you.
They're flying at the moment. It is so fun when you're in this position as a Haas driver, trying to charge your way through. Both of them making good gains. 7 places for Magnussen, 5 for Hulkenberg.
Magnussen gets another one. He is having the time of his life.
Alonso P5 ahead of you.
There is no rain falling at the moment, but the track is so wet.
Hulkenberg has passed Leclerc, so he's ahead of both Ferraris now as well.
Okay, good job, Nico. Rain is easing, track is clear out of 2.
We go on board with a man on a mission. Denmark's Kevin Magnussen out of the spray, about to take P5 when he stands on the brakes. He's in another league right now on that full wet tyre. Haas went the different way to anyone else in the field. One car is in 5th. That's the sight of Nico Hulkenberg moving up. He's gained 8 places off the start line. He's in 9th at the moment. Magnussen P5.
Piastri P4 ahead of you.
And it's great fun for Magnussen, who's got more grip than anyone around him. Now on the tail of Oscar Piastri, who can't turn that McLaren. And K-Mag just squeezes on the throttle, and he's going to be with the McLaren in 4th position. He's round the McLaren in 4th position on the exit.
Kevin Magnussen having the time of his life. From 14th on the grid, on the extreme wet tyre, he has moved up to 4th position, and there's nothing that any of them are going to be able to do. He is passing for fun in Montreal.
Norris in P3, 3 seconds ahead.
The intermediates should get better. The track's going to start to dry out, and then that full wet at some point is going to start dropping away. Magnussen on the last lap, fastest lap, 2/10 quicker than Russell, but he passed a couple of cars.
We have Kevin Magnussen and Nico Hulkenberg making their way through the field. They are on a tyre that is working at the moment. We are visor cam with the second Haas on the attack. The 2 cars ahead, Lewis Hamilton and Fernando Alonso.
Norris is 1.8 seconds ahead. You are lapping around 3 seconds lap faster than most of the cars on Inters.
BC2 when you can.
It feels like the rears may be overheating a bit.
BC will help.
And another fastest lap of the Grand Prix for Kevin Magnussen, who last time around was doing a 1:33.9. Lando Norris a 1:35.1. A reminder, it's a 70-lap Grand Prix. The track is going to be drying out, and when it does dry out, these extreme wet tyres will not be the ones to be on.
So Kev, to give you a picture, if you were to stop now, you'd come out behind Tsunoda, who is in P12, so that would be P12 for you. You're still lapping quicker than most cars on the track, apart from Verstappen's just under 33.9 on his Inters.
Magnussen's going to be starting to put on a little bit of pressure soon, but the track is starting to dry out slightly as well, and that full wet tyre probably lost its absolute advantage.
So those at the front, just trying to keep the intermediate tyres in, trying to keep them working. You can still degrade the intermediate tyres in these conditions.
Safety car window is open. Safety car window is open. And VSC. Safety and VSC.
Copy.
Now it's starting to get away from the full wet tyre that Magnussen's on.
Let me know if there's a car behind at some point, because I can't see in the mirrors.
Yeah, Ricardo's still 4 behind, going slower than you on Inter.
Box, Kev, box, please confirm. Box, box, box.
Box.
Boxing for Inters.
Kevin's boxing now.
For Inters,
Yes, Inter's, because he has a gap.
I think then maybe we should try and hang it out to slicks, but it's still a long way.
Yeah, copy that. We'll keep talking about it. So the gap behind is still 5.
We had a lot of fun with Kevin Magnussen, but now Haas have conceded that it's time. Oh, it's slow, it's so slow. And after all of that overtaking, it's a slow stop for Kevin Magnussen, who sees all of that hard work undone.
Oh no.
Why didn't we wait a lap if it weren't ready, guys?
We should have been ready. I don't know where it went wrong. We should have been ready. Something went badly wrong. Sorry, Kev. Okay, BC7, please. BC7. Fight with Ocon at pit exit. There's Sainz ahead of you. That's Albon ahead of you. Sainz alongside.
The strategy actually was still relatively with them, because an intermediate tyre now that he could put on, he should have come out roughly still in the midfield melee. It wasn't a disaster, but the pit stop was, and all of that hard work is over for Kevin Magnussen. He's still in the race, exiting in 12th position still. He could have been in the top 10, bolting on a new set of Inters.
Oh, we need to go to Inters too.
Like now, you mean?
Well, soon.
Okay, understood. Yeah, we'll find the right opportunity.
What position are we now?
Currently P7, Nico P7.
Okay, Kev, you're P14. Ocon 2.5 seconds behind.
It's kind of tough. I'm just losing the rear.
Copy that, Nico. Okay, we will box now, Nico. We will box end of this lap for Inter. Kevin is struggling initially, struggling to get them up to temp, just for info.
Here by turn 9, 10, there's some dry lines, but everywhere else still very wet.
Do you want... Let's stay out, Nico. Let's stay out. Stay out. Because Kevin's really struggling, so we'll just be stuck at the back.
The car's behind me, you didn't say.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Yeah, a group behind now. Ricardo, Stroll. How far away do you think dry is, Nico?
Still quite a long way.
Okay, so Hulkenberg now taking the punishment for that early gain by going on the full wet. Magnussen pitted for the intermediates, lost time in the pits, and should have been somewhere in this mix already. Hulkenberg, they can only be hoping to take this through to a slick now, but he's got a long way to go. And surely on this circuit, he's not going to be able to keep this whole crocodile of cars behind him.
You are focusing on Daniel Ricciardo getting out of the slipstream and getting up to 7th position. He is past Hulkenberg. He will not be the last one to do so. Did Magnussen catch that train? Not yet, but he's closing in. There's going to be a lot of overtaking action now as Hulkenberg was on the right tyres at the start of the race. Now, clearly, not the one to be on.
Brakes are virtually not working.
Copy that. But you are doing a fantastic job, Kev. Keep it up.
How's Kevin getting on?
He's caught the group behind you, so he's like 6 cars behind you. 6 cars close behind.
What are we doing now?
How far away for dries, Nico? How soon would you try it?
At the moment it's suicidal. All sector 1 and 2 are very wet, no chance.
Okay, Nico, we're boxing now for Inter. Boxing now for Inter. So box now, Nico, box now, Inters. Sargent will be close at pit exit. Rain coming in 20 minutes.